Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to create this snowy looking pergola for the new snow garden plots. I love these, love how they look. I've already done a pergola tutorial on my channel for the original ones, but I kind of wanted to make one that would look really nice in the snow biome, and this in my opinion looks beautiful. I'm actually going to show you 3 different versions of a pergola today for this new garden plot. This first one is made out of 3 pieces using Raven's Roost, Haunted House and Pleasant Park. So first up, what you want to do is put down 4 6x6 squares. You can use any item for this because they will not be visible, which will look like this, and this is where your garden plots are going to sit on top. Next, from the Raven's Roost collection, we're going to get the 16x2 and we're just going to wrap this all the way around the edges. Now to fill in the gaps you need one 8x2, which will go in any of these little slots here, and then in those empty gaps there we're going to use the 6x2s just to fill this in. And that is the base done. Now in all 4 corners we're going to place the Pleasant Park white pillar, and then directly in the middle of those 4 corners as well, apart from on one side, as you need to leave that open for the entrance. So it should now be looking like this. You then want to go ahead and get your 6x2 and just kind of put it back where you had it before, and just nudge them over. Remember, you need to use an 8x2 as well on one of these. It'll nudge all the way up to the pillar, as this is creating a space for where your snowy garden plots is actually going to sit. I'm then using the Haunted House 2x2 railings, where I put 2 at the front and then the rest of the gaps are being completely filled in. I'm just rotating them so that you can have different kind of like textures on all of these spaces. So you can either have it smooth or you can have it with brick. It's completely up to you. Which leaves the base finished like so. And now we're going to move on to the top. So I'm using the Raven's Roost pieces 6x2, and we're going to put these all along the left hand side, having the pillar sit in the middle of the 6, and then we're also stacking them 2 high, as you can see. And then we're going to do the exact same on the other side, but we're going to use the 8x2 so we can use it in the middle and on the edge to make sure it's overlapping on both ends. So as you can see here, I've got 2 studs hanging off the edge, and then I'm just stacking it up by 2 high, and then I will do that all the way along to use another 8x2 to snap these pieces together to make it go seamlessly across. Starting on the next layer, we want to use the same sizes again, so that is 2 8x2s and 1 6x2, and you want to make sure you're using your pillars underneath as reference, and you want to go 2 high. And you will end up with this finished product. Now you can go ahead and decorate this with lights or anything else that you would like to decorate it and make it your own. On this one I used a 12x2 and an 8x2 to make a little step to lead up into the garden plot area. And that is how to create the free version. Let's get onto the paid. So this is the one that you saw in my thumbnail, and I'm going to start off with this one a little differently by using 16x2, and we're going to go all the way around into a square shape to create the border. So this is what the base will sit inside. And for that you can use any 6x6 piece, just nudge these in and leave them on the bottom as they won't get seen, so it doesn't matter what you use. We're then going to fill in the gaps with 3 6x2s and 1 8x2. You can then add on your 4 snow garden plots, and I like to rotate these so they kind of have a little bit of a point of difference. And I think it adds to the design. Next I'm using the Daily Bugle 6x2 and then the 8x2 to fill in the gaps. Then it is the Beach Boulevard pillars, and I'm going to put these all the way around on each corner as well as in the middle. Now onto the top, I'm going to use 8x2 on either end of the pillar, and then in the middle I will use a 6x2 to link them up, but I'm only doing these 1 high, as I'm going in the second layer with different type of flooring, which is from the Friendly Neighborhood bundle, and this is just the pure grey flooring. I'm using the exact same sizes, but as you can see at the bottom of these kind of like pillars that I'm making out of the floor, there's like a lighter grey strip, and then on top is 3 darker greys. Now I'm going to do the same for the second layer of kind of pillars that we're making. We'll go back to the Daily Bugle with the lighter grey underneath to just repeat this process that we did before and make it identical, as it makes it look different. Then we're going to add the same railings all the way around from Haunted House. I'm going to use a 12x2 step in front, and then I'm also going to go back to the Beach Boulevard and 8x2 to kind of give it a contrast. And then that is the finished product. for the paid version. I hope you like it. Now let's move on to my last one, which is going to be made completely out of Beach Boulevard pieces. So like before, we used the 16x2 to make a square, and then we will fill that in with 4 6x6 pieces, which won't be seen by the design. We're then going to fill in these gaps with a 6x2 in 3 of the spaces and an 8x2 in the last space. Then we're moving on to the Beach Boulevard pillars, and we're putting those in all of the points like normal, all of the corners, and then in between apart from on one side. Then we're going back in with the same flooring, and we're going to add the 6x2 and an 8x2 to link or raise up the middle. We're also going to do this around the edge on all sides of the design, so that includes the outer edges as well. And for these we only need to use a 6x2 as it's matching the size of the garden plot. Then we're going onto the roof. Now for most of these you only need to use a 6x2, and we're just going to nudge them so it sits and flush with the top part of the design of the pillar. It's basically just going to mirror the below design and fill in a square frame, using a mixture of the 8x2 pieces and the 6x2 pieces of the Beach Boulevard kit. Once you've done the first layer, all you need to do is go ahead and add all of the pieces on top to take it up too high. After that, you can add anything else extra that I haven't already done on here to add some more detail. I haven't designed that, but that is completely down to you. You can go ahead and add in your 4 snow garden plots. And then around the edges, I'm just going to add in the 1x6 fences in 3 of the sides. Then at the front where there's a smaller walkway, I'm going to use a smaller piece, which will be a 1x2 and a 1x1. Then I'm using a 12x2 to make one step, and then an 8x2 in front of that, with that same 8x2 going on top of the original 12 step. And voila, 3 designs for you guys. I hope you have enjoyed them. I hope these are easy to follow along and a lot more clearer. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.